Welcome back to All Things Korean. Have you ever wondered why the surname Lee, which is the second most common surname in Korea, is romanized as Lee with an L when there is clearly no Liul or L sound in the name? I've been wondering that too, so I did a little bit of research and I'm here to share with you what I found. So before we dive into the issue, let's just look at the surname itself first. Now, all surnames in Korea, without exception, are Sino-Korean characters, which means that all Korean surnames come from Chinese. In this case, the surname Yi looks a little something like this and is romanized and pronounced in China as Li. So the original form of this surname is actually Li and not Yi. However, in Korean, there is this little thing called the tuum 법칙, which refers to a tendency for certain consonants, primarily liul and niun, to be omitted or changed when it comes at the front of a word. This applies primarily to Sino-Korean words, or words that come from Chinese. For example, 미녀 is the Sino-Korean word which means beautiful woman. However, when this 녀 comes at the front of a word, it's pronounced as 여, and this is the 여 that you see in 여자, which means woman. Another example is the word 미래. 미래 is the word for future, and the 래 in 미래 is the Sino-Korean character that means to come. When this 래 in 미래 comes at the front of a word, it turns into 내. An example of such a word is the 내 in 내일. 내일 means tomorrow, the day to come. So it's the same Sino-Korean character, but depending on where it's placed within a word, it can be pronounced differently. If you want me to go a bit more in depth into the tuum 법칙, please let me know and I will try to explain it again in the future. Anyway, so that was just a quick explanation of the tuum 법칙. What I wanted to say is that because of this tuum 법칙, the surname Lee becomes pronounced as I in Korean. Keep in mind that interestingly, this rule or this tuum 법칙 does not apply in North Korean. So in North Korea, the surname I is actually pronounced as Lee, which is closer to the actual Chinese pronunciation. Anyway, so in Korea, it's pronounced as I, but where did the romanization Lee come from? This is addressed in the Q&A section of the official website of the National Institute of Korean Language. And in this Q&A section, I saw the answer that they gave, and they don't know either. And if those people at the Institute don't know, then I sure as hell don't know either. But I did find a few interesting facts that I wanted to share with you today about this surname and how it's romanized. So, according to the official Korean romanization system, which was implemented in around 2000, the surname I, or the character I, is supposed to be romanized as I, just like one letter I. But to use as a name, you don't really see one character or one letter names in English, right? So the official romanization for the surname I is Y-I, Yi. If you look at the romanization of historical figures, or people who existed before anyone used English in Korea, those names are romanized as according to these current rules. For example, 이성계, who is the first king of the Joseon dynasty, or 이순신, who was a famous navy commander from the 1500s. These people are all correctly romanized as YI. But when people started making passports and started romanizing their names, had more contact with Western people, and before the official romanization system was implemented, Korean people romanized their surnames in a very wide variety of ways. So let's just take the surname I as an example and look at the different ways in which it was romanized throughout the years. Our first example is Lee Seung-man, who is the first president of South Korea. Lee Seung-man is actually from the north, and his Korean name was originally written as Lee Seung-man, so it's natural that he would romanize his name with the Liul in it. And indeed, the English spelling of his name is R-H-E-E, Ri. The next example is Lee Wi-jong, which is the name of a diplomat from the early 1900s. He romanized his name as Y-E, as in "O come all ye faithful," that ye, which also kind of makes sense. In present day, modern day Korea, over 98% of South Koreans romanize their surname E as Lee. And this was already the complete norm by the time the official romanization system came out. So even with the new system, it was too late to back out. Everyone was romanizing it as Lee. There's nothing we can do about it. The official romanization system does actually accept that there are prior ways of romanizing names that have become the norm through habit or something, and you are permitted to romanize your name as Lee, but just know that the standard way to romanize it is YI. But why Lee though? Why is it Lee? Maybe it was just following the original way it's pronounced in Chinese, or maybe it's under North Korean influences and people romanized it as Lee following North Korean. Maybe it's Lee and not Li because it's just a lot more straightforward. If you write it as Li, somebody might read it as lie, maybe, although that's probably highly unlikely. Or maybe they just wrote it as Lee because Lee is already a surname that exists in English, and maybe they thought if they spelled it the same, then it would sound a bit more relatable or something. I actually have no idea. And I've come to the end of my video. I apologize if this video seemed a bit useless today. I actually didn't answer the question of why it's romanized as Lee. I think the answer is nobody knows. It's just the way it is. It's been like that for decades. But I just wanted to share with you some interesting facts that I found along the way. Forgive me if I wasted your time. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos on Korean language and culture. I'll see you in the next one. 다음 영상에서 만나요.